S2E8 compass led us into a small roadside town, the kind you'd pass through without a second thought. At first glance, everything looked perfectly ordinary. Clean streets, well-kept buildings, flowers in window boxes. But the compass in my hand told a different story. It was vibrating. That familiar, faint pull that meant we were close to whatever we were chasing. I'm Eddie, by the way, 17, and for the past few months, my life has revolved around this strange, old brass compass. Beside me, my friend Harper was glued to her tablet, her brow furrowed in concentration. Her long blonde hair fell over her shoulders as she scanned our surroundings, then looked back at her screen. "Eddie, this is weird," she said, her red glasses slipping down her nose. "None of this matters. According to every digital map, this town's layout should be completely different. It's like the data is rewriting itself as we move." We decided to talk to some of the locals, hoping for answers. We stopped at a small diner with a cheerful-looking sign. The waitress who served us coffee was friendly enough, but when we asked her about the town's history, her smile faltered. "Oh, you know," she began, then trailed off, her eyes glazing over. "It's been around for ... a while." She couldn't remember the mayor's name, or even what day of the week it was yesterday. It was like watching a memory fade right before our eyes. This happened everywhere we went. People were polite, but their minds were full of holes. They'd start a story, only to forget the details halfway through. They'd mention a friend's name, then a moment later, look confused when we repeated it back to them. And every time someone hesitated, every time they struggled to recall a simple fact, the compass in my hand would glow with a soft, gentle light. I realized it wasn't just reacting to a location anymore. It was reacting to gaps in their thoughts. Back in the car, Harper showed me her tablet. "Look at this," she whispered, her voice tight with a mix of fear and awe. She pulled up the town's public records. It says, we watched, names, dates, and official documents would appear, flicker, and then vanish. Information was being created and erased in real time. It wasn't just that people were forgetting. Their very existence was becoming a blur. Their histories rewritten second by second. The signal, the strange energy we'd been tracking for weeks, had changed its tactics. It wasn't just making places disappear from maps anymore. Now, it was making people's awareness of their own lives disappear. It was a far more subtle and far more terrifying kind of erasure. As we drove away from the town, the compass in my hand finally grew still, its light fading. The town receded in the rearview mirror, looking as peaceful and ordinary as it had when we arrived. Harper lowered her tablet, her face pale. She looked at me, her eyes wide behind her glasses, and said what we were both thinking. "Eddie," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "This compass, it isn't just guiding us to forgotten places. It's tracking something. Something that's spreading across the country, designed to be completely unnoticed." We were no longer just explorers of the lost. We were witnesses to an invisible invasion, and this little brass compass was our only guide. The question was, where would it lead us next, and what would we find when we got there?